What about the Muslims? I have long hair. In a guy, it usually meant tolerance and a willingness to try peaceful solutions to problems. Nonviolence, peace and love. That's the reason I have long hair, as my constant protest to injustice in our society and war as a means of settling disputes. When I was teaching at Moraine Valley College, some of the Muslim students celebrated and cheered as the planes hit the Twin Towers on 9/11. And then they drove through the parking lots with their flags waving and horns blaring. I really didn't understand. I don't know much about Muslims, and I suppose I still don't. But I do believe people have a right to express their opinions, even if they offend a lot of other people, as long as they are not destructive themselves. Until 9/11, I really didn't think of a Muslim threat to America. Now, after 13 years of feudal wars in the Middle East and all the threatening diatribe, I see the Muslim threat as the number one problem Americans have to deal with, now and in the future. It seems the Muslims here are only interested in helping other Muslims. I've never read about them doing any projects to benefit Americans as a whole. They only do things to benefit other Muslims. Okay, that does not make them destructive. There's room here for them to have their own communities and churches and keep to themselves peacefully. But what about the Islamist terrorism coming here to this country? Isn't it just a matter of time and opportunity before we have more killing of innocent people? That is what terrorism is all about, killing innocents to make a point about what they believe in. I don't like prejudice of any sort. I also think there's a lot wrong with America. For instance, the way we abuse our environment and animals. I think we are wasteful, and I don't like the racism rampant in our society that I've seen all my life. And I don't like police brutality, especially against poor people. But those are all problems that can be worked on and improved. Terrorism cannot be improved. The perpetrators are so completely dedicated to their causes that they will never change. If we repress their websites, the leaders go underground and become heroes to the young, searching for their own identities. We must educate the young people to see the flaws in the terrorist logic for themselves. It will not be easy. And we have to be much more careful about Muslim immigration. It is hard to tell a good Muslim from a terrorist or potential terrorist. I think America is under attack and emergency measures must be taken. And that will include convincing good Muslims to inform on the terrorists when they know anti-American propaganda is being taught or promoted in their communities. If they want to be Americans, they must help root out the troublemakers, or I'm afraid there will be mass chaotic attacks against Muslims in this country, and of course retaliatory terror attacks on Americans. The majority of Muslims here are peaceful and want to be American citizens and enjoy the liberty this country offers them. They must be in the forefront of fighting the Islamist threats to their children and ours. The Islamist beliefs in their own system of laws and expansion of Islam at any cost must not be allowed to flourish in this country. Americans are a violent people themselves, and if they are pushed too hard, There will be a lot of bloodshed in the future.